like you to hit the like button at the beginning because every time you hit the like button, you are letting YouTube know that what you are seeing and hearing is edifying for you so it can be shared with others. That's why hitting the like button is so important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.
It had to happen. Your title was so powerful. When I read the name of your ministry, it had to happen.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for our Monday Night Madness. And tonight, our topic is prioritize your mental well-being. So let me go ahead and bring on my sissy, the beautiful sissy Sandra Perryman. Welcome,
good evening. Hey.
Oh my God, we are back here on this Monday for this amazing topic, sissy. As we all know that so much, like we said a lot of times, so much is going on in the world, and the mental health, we have to make sure we definitely take care of the mental. So before we jump into everything, let's go ahead and greet our first two viewers. That is Nephew Darius. Thank you.
Hey.
I hope everyone have a blessed day. Thank you, nephew. Okay, come on in, Deshana. Welcome. Come on in, Sawanda. All right, happy Monday, guys. Come on, sissy, let's ride with this thing.
Our mental health is just as critical as our physical health, and it's crucial to prioritize both. So, Mental Health Monday, take 16. Let's remember to prioritize our mental well-being. It's essential to focus on the positive and avoid negative thoughts that can spiral into negative emotions. Taking time for self-care activities like meditation, exercise, and hobbies can help keep a clear mind and maintain a positive attitude. So are you ready to kick off this exciting journey with us? Hit subscribe now and stay tuned for this exclusive fun-filled episode.
All right.
With Mental Health Monday.
Woo. Man, this topic is a deep topic. Hello, bro. Hello, superstar bro. What's good?
Hey.
Sissy, prioritize your mental well-being. And we can say as mothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we make sure everything is in place before we get ourselves in place. So this topic, we really could be talking to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because the mental is very, very, very important. As you said, it's just as important as your physical well-being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if the head isn't right, the body isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one of the things we definitely want. Hey, nephew, there go other nephew in the building. Welcome. And when I was doing this, I was looking up a couple of things about mental health as far as the mental well-being of an athlete, since we are the mothers of motivated sons, which they're athletes. So many things can take a toll on their mental.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Paula, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey.
So, what would you say would be just maybe throw one thing out there that you would think that would be, a little kind of bothersome, for not really bothersome, but there's many aspects of mental health and the well-being. So, what would you say would be one of the things that could bother them? Like
Stress.
mm,
Stress. Trying to, look over the playbook, trying to work out, trying to eat healthy,
yep,
and still trying to maintain and balance their home life outside of their work. So it can be stressful.
yep.
And
Ooh,
speaking for like Denzel, I'm sure he's going through a transition period right now from moving from the East Coast back to the West Coast. So right now he may be stressed in dealing with the move back and then,
yeah.
adapting to the 3 hour time difference again. So
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, so it can be a big adjustment. And, you know, like I read, if you don't take time out to focus on yourself, then you can't be productive in what it is that you have to do and what you need to accomplish. So, and I'm guilty of that. I be all over the place. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I just don't do self care, meditate.
Yeah.
So, I think I need to start meditating.
Pretty much so.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that's hard to do, though. Have you ever got into a place where you tried it?
Yeah, during the summer I did because I worked during the summer at a summer camp. So as part of the daily routine, the first 10 minutes before we did anything, we did meditation, and it actually works.
Okay, so tell me this, because I tried it. I think what happened with me, my mind just wandered. So, how do you get into a place just to sit still, first of all, because you definitely have to get into a comfortable place.
Hmm.
You don't have to be crisscross applesauce like most people say.
No.
You just have to be in a comfortable position, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you're in your comfortable position. How do you get to that point where you just mm, everything is blocked out? I'm locked in.
I just found a meditation on YouTube. I just Googled meditation, and
Ah,
different things pop up, and I just clicked on it. It was one that we did basically like every day. And it's just like the soothing sound. So it was
yeah.
one that we would listen to that had like the waterfall and then like a nice little groove, tone. So it works. It actually helps.
Well, you
And
know
some of the
what?
kids were actually falling asleep.
I was going to say that because I actually
Hmm.
listened to that going to bed and it puts me out. Like
Hmm.
it really put me out. And I learned that from my sissy who passed away, God bless her soul. She used to listen to the heavy rain. And I'm telling you, it relaxes you and it puts you out. But I'm thinking like meditation, you get in there and you're just in a quiet space. See, I didn't know that you could actually play the music. I'm just thinking
Hmm.
like you're just in this quiet space and that's all,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say you would think that stress is kind of like one of the big factors in
Yes.
athletes. And I think so too. Even game day. Think about it because
Hmm.
now I have to go out, I have to perform, I have to do
Yeah.
my best, I have to really give it my all. And maybe just maybe it may not even fall on the player, but it could be on the coach not playing the player. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So now, what is it doing? Why am I
What's it
not
doing?
in? Coach,
Hmm.
coach overlook whatever it may be, or a parent on the outside, like, why they not playing my kid? So that's another thing you want to put on for your family and your friends. And here it is. It may not even be on you. It may be on the coach. Maybe want to show favoritism, or maybe
Hmm.
just, I don't know what it could be, but that's one of the things that I definitely can see game day. Hey, niece. Hey, how are you?
Hey.
And happy anniversary, belated anniversary to
Yeah.
Desmond Jr. and Quanta.
Yay.
Oh my God, how many years it's been? Six, five.
Fi-
It came up.
Five.
5 or 6. I know because it came up in my stories and I saw it. Blessed day, superstar. Blessed day. So another thing about the mental is think about it. You have not only when you're playing the game in your off season, right? You got another life outside of football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we heard our guys tell us that, basically when you're playing, it's football, football, football.
Right.
So now the season is over. Now I have to tap into my real life. Not that I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been tapped into it then, but I had a kind of like a scapegoat to go to practice, work out wherever it may be, or get game day ready. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's it's us now. I'm home. I'm dealing with me now. How would you say that can? I think that's another big stress factor. What do you think?
I can agree. Because you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to stay with the team. You don't know if you're going to be traded. You don't know. So, in addition to that, you have to still keep up as if you were still, still working because now you're competing. So, like Thursday, we got the draft coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have the draft coming up. So, um, those young men are probably stressing, panicking, wondering which round they're gonna go, if they're gonna
Yeah.
get chosen. So it's a lot. I think you just have to learn how to
Mm-hmm.
balance it. Now, what does that look like for an athlete? Balance? I don't know.
Right.
I don't
Because I
know.
think you spoke about like after the season, but guess what happens? Like when they're breaking down that roster,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
what
like
I'm saying.
90,
Stressing.
right? It
Hmm.
started out with 90, and then but the thing is, then they have that cut season.
Hmm.
It's just one time when you get like, okay, I'm in, I'm good or whatever. Then now you got to think about the next thing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That cut time or whatever they call it, that trade deadline and all that other kind of stuff. So it
Right.
is a lot of things that plays a part in the mental well-being of an athlete. Congratulations. He say 5 years. Congratulate. Ooh, that's grace. That's grace right there. But okay, well, let's think about too. Um, what if a student athlete or a pro athlete is
Mhm.
actually having problem? No, I want to take it here. Think about it. In high school, everybody's good, right? No, everybody's
Mhm.
okay, I would say. Um,
Mhm.
college, everybody's good. Pro level, everybody's the best, right? So you're
Mhm.
used to getting all this play time in high school. Then here it is, you go to college and you barely getting play time.
Mhm.
That can take a toll on the kid as well. Because guess what? I was the man in high school. You guys,
Mhm.
y'all recruited me. You gave me a full ride. I know you saw something, but then you get there and then boom, like you're
Yeah,
being overlooked. So how would you think that would not only affect the athlete, but affect the parents as well?
it will. It will. And that's again, it all falls under stress.
Yep.
It all
Well, I
falls
guess
under
that's a
stress
big
because
factor there.
yeah, it is. It is. Because we always told our boys in high school, you're playing amongst like your
Yeah.
peers.
Yeah.
But when you go to college, you're playing against people from out of state, people you
Yeah.
don't know. You're just playing and competing against people that may be better than you, not better than you, equal to you, you don't know. So
Yeah.
once you get to that next level at the collegiate level, it's like you got to grind. You
Yes.
got to
Good.
grind. You got to grind.
Gotta get it.
So it's crazy.
It is. And okay, college level. Let's talk about that because you stopped there. But even at the pro level, it's even
Oh, it's a whole different ball
10
game.
times. You playing with some grown men.
You playing.
You
I was
talk
finna say you playing against grown men.
Yeah, you talk about your kid coming out of college as what, 19,
Mhm.
somewhere up in there.
Mhm.
going and play with these big grown men that done been in this league for a minute,
Yeah.
and I wonder, what is it really like their first time stepping on that field? I know it's kind of like mixed emotions, I can say, I think, because, you're stepping on this field, you're doing what you love. I made it, right? But
Right.
then you see these big old jokers coming out. You like, boy, see, nephew, he's on defense, Allen on offense. So, but my thing is still walking into this and you see these big grown men. I wonder kind of like what kind of play in their heads when they're having that moment.
I don't know.
Because that's something to think about though, right?
True.
And here I don't know, but I was looking up a couple of things about this mental well-being, and it even was saying that how improving mental health for athletes overall well-being, self-esteem, and performance. Now, my self-esteem, I'm just speaking from an athlete's point of view. Maybe his self-esteem was just through the roof, but then I get to just say I was traded and I get to another team. Now I have to really prove myself. I have to win my job. I have to perform at my best, because I have to fight for my position. So now you're talking about the performance part of it. Okay, maybe so. You're coming off of an injury, and our kids had several. You're coming off of an injury, and our kids say they wasn't timid when they went back on the field. But what if that player is timid going back onto that field?
Yeah.
What will you do? I mean, that goes into the performance part of it.
Exactly.
Now I can't perform the way that I used to because I had this injury, and I don't want to re-injure myself. Then also going back to Coach McCall, shouts out to him when he said about, so I think it was Coach McCall, maybe not verbatim, but when they said sometimes you have to go out there and play hurt.
Well, our kids did it.
Oh, they sure did.
They
They
did it.
sure did. You're
And we
playing,
didn't even know. Yeah.
you're playing through your pain. You got to secure the what they say, secure the bag. You have to secure your position. You definitely have to secure your position. So, and these statistics that I saw too was just amazing to me. I'm gonna see, can I bring a couple of them up because it's sad, but it's true. And this one here comes from Timothy Neal. Look what he said. He said mental illness is probably one of the greatest silent epidemics in our country. It's a public health issue, and now we're seeing it more and more in our student athletes. Now, they didn't even talk about the pro level. He's talking about the student athletes, which probably in high school or college.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a lot in high school. It's a lot
gee
of
whiz.
students dealing with, mental issues in school. But the thing of it is you don't know how to target those students if they don't speak up.
See,
And
that's
that's the
what
thing.
see,
You
that's what
don't
I was
know.
going to ask. How do you know?
You don't know.
Hey,
You
Miss
don't know.
Betty,
Hi, Miss Betty.
is there a sign? I think sometimes there are signs that we sometimes don't catch.
Yeah.
Like, say, for instance, if a child is acting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe let's talk about that hoodie thing, the hoodie over the head.
Mm-hmm.
What was that saying that the child was depressed or something when they wear the hoodies on the head?
If I can recall, I think that's what she said. They were
So,
shielding themselves.
but at one point in time, these kids was walking around in the heat with these hoodies on.
They still do.
So it's kind of like a hit or miss. I don't know if it's maybe the idea of putting it on the head, or I don't know, because you never can tell, like you said. But I think too, with the kids that we call bad, sometimes the kids are crying out for attention.
Mm-hmm.
and don't know how to, and maybe that's their way of trying to get the attention by being bad. You know,
Right.
some people just really like to self-destruct.
I don't know. I see, I see it every day, but you, like I say, you don't know how to target those students because you just don't know. You can talk, you could talk, you could try to be there, but if they're not comfortable enough to
Yeah.
open up, then they're not. I call it, they got to find a safe space.
Mm.
They have to find their safe space, and then once you get them to that safe place and you're in that safe place with them, then you start dialoguing, and they may start opening up slowly, and
Wow.
then again, they may not. But it's just, how do you address it if you don't know it
You
and if they're
don't.
not saying anything?
Now you're talking about high school. Who helped these kids if they do, if they were to say this? Because we know at the college level, they have actually some type of help, someone that these kids can talk to. But say, for instance, on the high school level, a student athlete, who they go talk to?
Their counselor is supposed to talk to them. It becomes a counseling issue.
Okay.
And
So,
depending on if they have a good communication with their coach or something, depending on
mhm.
what they tell their coach technically is supposed to say it over to the counselor if it's something that the student said to them, as far as like harming themselves or harming somebody else.
Oh God, wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but what if it didn't get to that point, though? Say, for
to a
instance, if that
point.
student athlete, like saying they want to harm themselves or harm someone else, but the thing is, oh well, coach, maybe you could. They say that you can see some things when people are used to eating and not eating. You definitely won't know if they're showering because you don't live with them. But there's certain things that they may have been doing when they were around you that they stopped doing all of a sudden. And what happens if they just, again, maybe they could be, how can I say, when I was going into the school system and I worked as an intern, one of the kids, he was being neglected. They will literally drop him off at school at 6 o'clock in the morning and pick him up at 6 p.m. But the thing is, he was being neglected, but he was one of the ones who was acting out. And a lot of the teachers was like, oh, he's just bad. He just bad.
Hmm.
But the thing is, sometimes he will act out, sometimes he will be so loving. um in that kid head, and you talk about a small kid, so in that kid head, he probably don't know which way to turn. Like, if I
Right.
do try to get some love probably from the person that I want it from, maybe that person is shying me off. So maybe I
Hmm.
tend to just shy off from everybody. Going back
Right.
to the autism, we were talking about autism last week,
Right.
how they were saying that the autism kids do not like to be hugged,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
They can pick up on people who don't mean them the best, or who
Hmm.
don't like them, or they could pick up on that type of things. So think about it. Do you think these kids as a kid can pick up on that as well, but maybe not as much as a kid with autism?
Absolutely.
Now that's
Absolutely. We as grown people can tell if a person, don't really care for us. So yeah, a child can, because it's not all in what you say to a child. They look at your body language.
mm,
So if you're talking to a child and you standing there, okay, then of course they're not going to open up to you. They're not going to be as receptive to hear what you have to say. So body language plays a big part as well. A big
oh,
part.
and the thing about it, we as adults, we can remove ourselves, but kids, they can't.
Hmm. They can't.
you know they're just stuck there. So
Hmm.
now if I'm stuck in this type of situation, and I don't get any type of help for it, it carries on to my adulthood.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now I'm in my adult life, or here it is, you have this kid that may be bad in football, basketball, golf, soccer, whatever that sport may be, you know but in the head, Oh, this take me back to Vontae Davis. God bless his soul. I saw a clip where he was talking with the coach and he was being released. And in that clip, Sissy, he looked like he converted back to a little kid. It's like he was like, "Can I just call my grandmother?" And it's like he almost went back to a little kid. Now, the thing about it is, and I hate when people go to speculating because we don't know what
You
happened to
don't
the
know.
young man, but it's just so quick that CTE is thrown on our children, especially in
Mm-hmm.
sports. The CTE is just okay, that's what it is. It's that cost from CTE or something like that. But not understanding that you may have to go back a little bit. Not saying that that was his case, but you may
Right.
have to go back a little bit and kind of do some digging to kind of see what type of childhood this kid had, what type of
Mm-hmm.
trauma that he experienced in his life. So I don't know. The teachers are not trained to identify the problems. I was told by some youth between 13 to 15, mentioned adults think that they know everything and won't listen to them. That's sad.
Right now, Miss Betty, as teachers, we have to take a mental health course. So teachers now are actually being have to take a course, and yeah, we have to take a course in mental health. Yeah,
Okay,
like
now
twice
look
a
at
year.
that. They're in your class. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. They're in your class, so you're the one that's dealing with them on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
You send them to the counselor if need be, right? But you're the one having interactions with these children on a daily basis, just like these coaches. So at the end of the day, if you have one that may go to their teacher, may go to their coach and try and talk, if they're being shown off or like, some coaches may even tell a dude, toughen up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because what men are taught not
Not
to
to
cry.
cry,
No,
not to show
you don't show
emotion.
emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So how could if you're hearing this and this person is displaying this on a daily basis, you're never going to go talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not going to do it because I already know that the way that you feel. You're telling me that I'm not supposed to show emotions. I'm not, and that's the biggest myth there is.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to show it. If something hurt, it hurt.
it hurt. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you should be okay. And it's okay not to be okay. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, it's okay not to seek. It's not okay. I'm sorry. It's not okay to not seek some help because you do have people out there that can help you and that will listen. Because sometimes kids, when they come talk to you, they're they're coming to talk and they probably don't want a response. They just want an ear.
I
And
do
even
it
that's
all the
enough.
time.
See,
I do
right?
it all the time. Whatever you want to say, just say it. I'm here to listen. If you want me to say something and say it back, I'll respond back. But if not, I just let them talk.
And see, that's a lot of times what kids need. They just need to
Mm-hmm.
be heard. Look what Miss Betty
Mm-hmm.
say. They think they know everything and no one won't listen to them. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times too, as adults, you know, we don't listen to hear, we listen to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you're gonna lose a lot of people because when you're listening,
Exactly.
it's like you ready to respond. You're not even hearing what they're trying to say. You just have a okay, let me be on my P's and Q. Let me just respond real quick. You're not going
Mm-hmm.
to get a kid to come to you or an adult, anybody, to come to you and pretty much open up.
No.
But
Mm-mm.
we need that. We definitely need that as, look what she said, 13, 15-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. That's where it
That,
starts at.
and that's the time when, what, that's like, no, that's high school. Is it?
Middle
No,
school.
middle school.
Middle school
Middle
transition.
school.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we're trying to find ourselves in
Yep,
middle
in
school.
middle school. So if you don't, and she's absolutely right. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the show. How do you know if
Mm,
they're going through something? You don't know.
gee
You don't
whiz.
know. So I guess it's been so many cases within the school district with mental health students, committing suicide, being Baker Act and all that. So I know with Dade County, we have to take the mental health courses like twice a year. And them some long videos and questions and tests we have to do. I'll be like, okay, here we go again. But
Wow.
that's what we have to do in order to try to save our kids, our students. And
But
that's
then they
what we
don't
have
want to
to
pay
do.
y'all. They don't want to pay y'all top dollar.
Yeah, absolutely right. But I
That's a
think,
part. That's a part of the mental too.
yeah, but when the kids become, I guess, when they say the bad kids,
Yeah.
and we always are the bad kids, but I think they use sports as an outlet
Yep.
to release
Yep.
whatever it is that they're going through. But at the same time, if you're not getting the problem addressed, then you're going to go to the next level and probably get kicked off the team because of your attitude.
Or probably won't even make it to the next level. It
Exactly.
can be a hindrance. Miss Betty say if they want to talk, to ask them if they want to talk to me. I ask them, do you want me to listen or comment? That's
Absolutely.
you're giving them a choice.
Hmm.
You're giving them a
Hmm.
choice. So that way you open the door right there. Okay, I'm willing to
Hmm.
listen. I'm willing to talk as well. What is it you would like for me to do? That is awesome. That is an
Yeah.
awesome approach right there. Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, how could they not, say, okay, well, no, I don't want to talk at all. But
Hmm.
you need to be able, I mean, my God, are we losing? I mean, these
Yeah.
kids, it's like more and more. And listen, I have a thing here that I know play a big, big part on the mental well-being. And we don't like to be real about it, but watch this here. It says here, rates of teen depression and suicide have skyrocketed since 2011. The
Hmm.
twin rise of the smartphone and social media has caused an earthquake of a magnitude we've not seen in a very long time, ever, if ever. Social media. I want to be like this person. I want to be like that person. What are we doing? And then it starts at home. What are
Hmm.
you what are you speaking over your child? What are you speaking to your child? What are you teaching your child? Are you teaching your child that he's loved? He loved. They're beautiful. I mean, speaking those things into them, where they don't have to feel like, okay, I have to go to social media to get it. There's no love in the home, so let me go outside and join this gang. you know um Maybe like you said, here it is, it's an outlet. Sports is an outlet for them. Okay, well, let me go just take my frustration out. Oh God, you may even go into the game with that frustration and end up hurting somebody else's child
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
yourself.
Right. Hmm.
But I think too, so much is happening where the kids are really raising themselves because they don't want to listen.
Social
Oh, you
media raising these kids, and I don't know. I'm not big on social media.
right,
I It doesn't bother me one way or the other, but
right.
is what they're looking at on social media the real truth behind those people that's saying what they're saying or doing what they're doing?
That's the thing.
They could be doing it
It's
just to
for
get likes.
entertainment. That's what
Yeah.
it's for. Look what nephew come on. Oh, we got one too, nephew. Denzel Perryman, our brand ambassador in the building. Where our Petey? We got a
Hey,
Petey.
yeah. I just got out of workout and all that good stuff. I looked at the time. I was like, yeah, I can't tell coach, but hey, man, I got a podcast to get on. So, yeah, I had to wait till the workout was done.
Well, that's all right. We understand. We understand, but we held you down. We was on here talking about prioritizing your mental well-being. And
Hmm.
that's a big factor, especially for, you athletes,
Yeah.
because you have so many different how can I say, so many things you have to keep up with. You have to
Hmm.
game day, like you say, workouts. You're just getting out of workouts.
Hmm.
Then you got to go, be you at home. It's just so many different things that you guys have to kind of like juggle. So, what would you say about God dog it, prioritizing your mental well being?
It's like that little saying that I always say when you ask us to leave the people with something, be where your feet at, not where your mind is. It's
Mm.
just like being here. If I got, well, if I not if I got, if I have things going on outside the building, and I bring that type of stuff inside the building, now I can't focus on, being in the meeting, or I'm in the meeting room, thinking about outside stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on, and that's how I kind of like to keep my mental aspect going. I like to, like I said, just be where my feet are and not where my mind is.
And look how he just came in and what we was just talking about, Sissy. We were talking
Mm-hmm.
about a kid that may he bad in school or whatever, but then go out and he's elite ball player, and he may go out there and end up hurting somebody's child or himself, taking it out on the field. But like you said, what I love that what you said about being where your mind is, because at the end of the day, I mean, where your feet is. I'm sorry, not where your
Mm-hmm.
mind, because we know that that mind go to wandering. We
Yes.
do know that. So again, like you said, if you're bringing the outside into your workspace, that is a complete disaster, especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
going through something.
Mm-hmm.
But think about how many times as human beings we take things out on other people that we shouldn't, because it's something that we're going through, and you looking like, well, what the heck did I do?
Mm-hmm.
You start to wonder, like, what is it that I did? A lot of times people don't know how to just you don't want to suppress. That is the worst thing you could do, is suppress your feelings. You definitely want to get your feelings out, but it's a way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you both say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just can't go around just, having a bad day, so let me take that out on you today.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, you
And
can't do that.
sometimes finding your safe space to meditate can also help.
So nephew, do you know how to meditate? Because I don't.
Yes, I have many forms of meditation. Uh, I can either like kind of just sit, quietly, be with my thoughts. I can play music, not like music, but probably like a. Ever since I went to Utah, I play like this American flute music, and or like a Native American, like chakra music to kind of just tap into different frequency and waves of the body, or I just have this other form of meditation.
I heard about chakra.
Uh huh.
How okay? How do you tap into that? Like, because I was just asking Sissy, like, I thought, what you said at first, like, you get into this quiet space and it's just the quiet space. But Sissy
Hmm.
was telling me that it's a way that you can listen to music as well, which I do when I go to sleep. But I
Hmm.
just can't get into that place. My mind, again, that mind, it just wanders. And you try to bring your mind back in. And I find that, it was kind of a little hard for me. But you say chakra. Now, you tapping into chakra. Is that a music you're listening to, and then you feeling it in your body somewhere?
Well, it's certain type of frequencies that you can play that really tap into like different parts of the body. It's really crazy. Like honestly, you probably have to like read up to it and like look up different frequencies, but like different frequencies, like really tap into like the mind and the body in a certain way. It's crazy. Like I can't explain it. You'll probably have to like read into it and kind of go through that experience yourself.
Okay, well, that's one of the things I know, that rain. Like, have you ever listened to the rain?
Hmm.
The rain is definitely, it can get you. I mean, it can mellow you out, and it could even put you out. You going to
Hmm.
sleep. And it's also, remember, what you look when you go get massages, they play the little birds tweaking and things like that. So that's okay. So what would you say would be some of your, if you could give advice to anybody that's on here, that may have a athlete, what would you say could be some of the most best self-care methods that you have taken so far?
Self care methods, I would say just protecting my peace. Um, that's I mean, I feel like that's where it kind of all starts. Like if you're not at peace with yourself, it's kind of hard to do anything or like even think or have your mind straight. So I would say make sure you got your peace in order. Don't let anybody control your happiness or emotions. And oh, just make sure like you taken care of first. Like just make sure you straight. And like I said, just make sure your peace good, make sure your happiness good. Don't let nobody control none of that. Because like at the end of the day, that's like that's you. Like you have that ability to let somebody get like you get that power to somebody, let somebody upset you, frustrate you, all that good stuff. Like you giving somebody else that power to do that.
Yeah, that is so true. But the thing is, you know how sometimes you don't want to upset that person. Would you say like you would be selfish? Because I know Alan told me sometimes you have to be selfish. And I get it. Granted, I get it. But see, coming from mothers, we tend to put others first. But Alan did tell me sometimes you have to get into that selfish space and take care of you,
Yeah.
taking your peace. That's what it is. And when you go to setting those healthy boundaries, you see what I'm saying? What would you say, Sissy, it'd be like a healthy boundary for you as a mother? I'm an ex-nephew as coming from a son, but as a mother, what would be a healthy boundary for you?
Not disturbing my peace, meditating,
See how much
meditating, and learning how to say no.
Now that's a hard one right there.
Learning how to
That
say
is a hard
no.
one right there. Um, and I think one of mine would be Sissy and nephew is you don't get to pick me up when you want to and drop me when you want to. You're gonna be one way with me, or you ain't gonna be no way with me. I
Mhm.
think that's another boundary that we can set because at the end of the day, I understand we all have our days, right? But you
Mhm.
just don't get to treat me any kind of way and then think you're going to come back and pick me up when you're ready. It's
Mhm.
not going to be just on the other person's terms. Hey, I'm human too. Don't
Right.
make the choice for me. Give me a chance to make the choice. You understand? So, what would you say would be one of your healthy boundaries, nephew?
One of my healthy boundaries, I had to learn. I can't please everybody. Uh, like, no, regardless of me not wanting nobody to feel no type of way about nothing. Like, I can't please everybody, and
Oh,
like my mom said, like learning how to say no. I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but just learning how to say no, and realizing you can't please everybody. Like everybody got their own opinion, whether you are 1,000% in the right, or 1,000% this, that, and the other. Like everybody gonna feel how they feel regardless, and that's their problem, not mine.
that's a good one because at the end of the day, we actually, uh, I have this saying where somebody out the crowd is not going to be happy, you know, and do you let yourself get stuck there where that unhappy person is? Because at the end of the day, sometimes the unhappy person is not happy with themselves. And guess what? They say hurt people, right? But if you really care for someone, you just don't call it quits. I think, maybe you could take a step back and say, okay, well, let me see, like I love to pray. So my thing is maybe let me pray for that person, or let me maybe give that person their space. But I'm not, if I care for you, I'm not going to give you much space. Because at the end of the day, when I say that, I need to know that you're okay if I care for you. That's just what I do. But my thing is, a lot of people just, okay, well, let them be. No, I can't, especially if I see something. If I see something or I feel something, because Sissy, you can attest to this. A lot of times I done picked up on so much. And I'll ask a person, are you okay? And they'll say, mm-hmm. And okay. I don't force them to talk, but I do go into the background and go to war for them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Mhm.
some people want to kind of like just, I'm not gonna nick and nag you, but I'm gonna ask you, are you okay? And
Right.
you say, yeah, okay, all right. In the back of my mind, I'm be like, okay, well, I know what I need to do. I don't need to know. I'm one of them people. I don't need to know your business. Like I just need to know you okay. Let me
Mhm.
go to war for you. Whatever you need me to pray for, God, He'll let me know. He'll let me know what you need me to pray for, or what I need to touch and agree with you on. But what happens if we miss those signs? What happened? And then we talked about teen suicide. It's just not happening with the teens. It's happening with adults too. This way of the world now is hard.
Mm-hmm. Very.
And what do you do? What do you do if you have absolutely that safe space that we talked about? So,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like a safe place is important for athletes, nephew?
Oh, of course. Some people feel like they don't have a safe place, and I feel like that's where some people kind of spiral out, and they kind of have it up to that point where they just let stuff build up because they feel like they don't have a safe place or like a safe space, to express or talk about anything. So, yeah, as an athlete, I do feel like a safe space or a safe place to kind of get out how you feeling is important.
Hmm. What about you, Sissy, as a teacher, as an educator?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry to cut you off, man. I gotta go take a shower and stuff.
okay.
I love y'all. I love
Love you
y'all.
too. All right, but yeah. So, as an educator, what would you say?
Of course, we have to have a safe space. I tell my kids all the time, especially because I deal with a lot of special needs kids. So
Mm,
I tell them all the time, this is your safe space. You know, whatever you tell me, it's me and you. You know, and I just let them have their way. Whatever they want to say, they say. Whatever they want to do, they do, and
because
that's
you're a
where
good
it
listener.
stays.
You're a good listener.
Yeah,
See.
that's where it stays. It stays right there. And I tell them, if you choose to tell somebody else, then that's on you. If you want me to share what you shared with me with somebody else, I'll do that. But other than that, it stays in a safe place.
Mm, because a lot of times when kids or someone come and speak with you, sometimes you can not just say the wrong thing to the child or the person, you lose them right then and there. Or say for instance, if you had a scenario where a kid was having a problem and the person that they dealt with before coming to you just didn't want to hear them out, and now you have them in your place, which you feel is the safe place. And how do you get them into that place where you say, okay, well, yeah, because they may tell you, oh, that last person didn't want to hear me. What made me think that you want to hear me? What will be your way of kind of like gaining their trust and let them know that this is a very safe space? How would you go about doing that?
I've been in this situation, and my comment to them was, I'm not the last person that you spoke to.
Mm,
I don't know what transpired between you and that person, but I'm here to help you. So whatever it is you need to do to make you feel better, to get you back in the place where you're comfortable with yourself, then
mm,
do it.
wow.
That's how I do it with my students. So they can see, you're human. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just like everybody else. You're just having a bad day.
Ooh.
I don't know what triggered in your mind to make you feel or go through what you're going through now, but you don't have to deal with that. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it with me, but just stay here until you're ready to go back so you don't have another interaction, a bad encounter with somebody else. And then they mistreat what you're doing as
Yeah.
you're trying to hurt yourself or you're harming yourself or something like that. So just stay here. And then eventually they calm down and then they just start talking. And I'm
Now,
still I'm still working. I'm working and I'm just letting you have your way over there. And then they'll
but
eventually
okay,
come around.
you say you still working, right?
Mhm.
So you're when you say working, like you taking your attention off of the child.
Because see, sometimes it depends what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
If you're feeding into it, they're gonna keep. They're gonna keep at it. They're gonna keep at it. They're gonna keep at it. But if
Okay.
you're not indulging in what they're doing and saying, okay, stop it, don't do that, this and that, you're not entertaining it, then they slowly decrease. And then they
Ooh,
start talking about it.
never thought of it that way. Because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm talking to you, but you're not listening to me, Miss Perryman. Like you're not even looking at me. I'm talking to you. I'm pouring my hearts out to you, and you're not even
Mm-hmm.
looking at me. Do you ever
Mm-hmm.
have any of those?
Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I say, I'm listening. I say, I'm listening. But
Mhm.
I'm not looking at you because I don't want to look at that bad behavior. So when you change your behavior, then I can look at you and then we can communicate better. But your body
Oh, that's
language, yeah. It's sometimes
oh.
you have to use reverse psychology. You
Now
have to use
that's a good one right there because I don't want to look at that. Wow. So let's jump into this one, because guess what? Our athletes, our sons, they're actually role models for a lot of the kids or so.
mm-hmm.
And now you have it where your child have to keep up this image because of he's been looked at or she's been looked at, not just in athletes, and that's all. Especially if you have people, we like to go with titles, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
have this title where people hold you up to this high standard and this pedestal that they put you on, and the expectations, what they expect from you, you can't really be human. But we all know that everybody's human. Like you said, you told the kid we're all the same, maybe dealing with
Mm-hmm.
something differently, right? But now, okay, we have these role models, and we have to go out there and just put on. We have to just dress our, maybe we have some hurt going on, maybe some a little anxiety, a little depression, whatever it may be. And we have to go out there and we have to suppress that. Let's go to the ball players. Let's go to them. Because
Mm-hmm.
what they said is football, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to go out there and I have to perform. I have to go out there, I have to work out. I have to go out there and I have to do community service or whatever it may be. I don't have time to really think about what's bothering me. I don't have time to really think about how I feel basically because
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep my job.
Exactly.
So I found this clip and I want everybody to listen to it because it speaks volume. It talks about how our kids or athletes or they're role models, and it can be, I think it could be a blessing and it could be a curse. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's helping others, but what is it really doing to our kids?
Right.
Honestly, let's go into this clip.
Opening the doors for everyone to have a conversation around mental health when you have uh, high profile figures like this sharing their vulnerability. Some of the aspiring athletes looking up to them could be saying, well, if they're facing struggles with all their success, with all the skills that they've developed, then it should be okay for me to also be open about this or to get the help that I need as I'm moving up the ladder. So I think we're seeing that more and more, is that they're serving as really important role models for all generations of athletes. I think it's also letting people know that these people are human beings first and foremost, and it doesn't matter how much success you've had, you're not invincible, and you might experience up and downs like every other person on the planet.
Now think about that. They're being looked at as role models, or not just them, but you're looked at as a role model, but you may be dealing with some things behind closed doors. Now, how as an individual, this is why we got to be careful, and this is why I'm going this way with this, with the social media thing, looking at everything that's meant to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what social media is supposed to be for. It's for entertainment. But here it is, we find ourselves wanting to be like the next person, or maybe even comparing ourselves to the next person. Think about these kids, like they're looking up to the role models,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and we're not on there on social media telling, our bad days,
Mm-hmm.
what it is we're going through. So how is it? I think that's why I say it could be a blessing and it can be a curse. Because at the end of the day, you really don't know who you're really looking up to.
I think when athletes get to the next level, regardless of what sport it is,
Mm-hmm.
if they can be forthcoming about issues that they had or that they're having, if they can go back and talk to these high school students, if
Yeah.
they can go back and talk to middle school students.
Yeah.
And if they see the physical role model there sharing what they went through or what they're going through, then maybe it'll help within the school system. That's just my opinion. That's just my take. I
No, I
think
think that
they need to, I mean, they probably pour back, but I think pour back in educating in the mental health part, letting other people see that it's okay to, like you say, to not be okay. But this is
yes,
what you do. This is what I did.
yeah,
And if I can do it, then you can do it. So
that's
I
true.
think that will help.
Not even just in the high schools, it's even in little league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just go
Huh?
back.
Yeah,
Just take it back.
but guess what's happening in these camps? We're not. You're not hearing nothing about that. You're out there to what? Learn drills, run around. That's it. What
Mm-hmm.
are you taking from these athletes besides the skill set? You need to know. Listen, when you get to even college,
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother ball game. Guess what?
Exactly.
You're finally on your own now. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna start adulting, basically
Mm-hmm.
in college because you don't have mom and dad there anymore to kind of like spend your, help you out or whatever. So now you're in the big league and you gotta know, oh God, and we say this all the time, more money, more problems. That is
Mm-hmm.
the
It is.
that's the truth. Because
Mm-hmm.
money can't buy happiness, money can't buy love. That it definitely cannot do those two things. It may
Right.
buy you some superficial love for a minute, but it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lose that money, and you will see how much love there is.
Right.
Okay, but no, it's the truth. You think about
Mm-hmm.
it. So we have our kids. They're human being. They're a human being. But the thing about it is, when they leave that field,
Mm-hmm.
or they may leave football, or you think, like Alan said, you have to know your why. You
Mm-hmm.
definitely have to know your why, and then you have to have that mental straight because guess what? You're not going to get the same love that you was getting when you were playing or when you were up there, whoever it may be. If you were, how the kids say, no, Cardi B said when you up and you up, however she said. The thing is, yeah, you can come down, down, down. Quick
Right.
way up. But at the end of the day, when you're not there, where they think you
Mm-hmm.
were before, and they're not showing you that same type of love,
Mm-hmm.
what do?
Yep.
Like Jeffrey say, you cannot put your happiness in other people's hands.
Yep.
You just cannot do that. And tonight we talked about prioritize your mental well-being. And I hope that each and every one of you are definitely taking care of your mental space. Your mental space is very, very important. And do not allow people to hold your happiness or dictate how you going to feel, how you should feel. Because if, like nephew said, if you give those people that power, now that's what they have over you. So I hope that we kind of broke this thing down to you guys. Listen, tomorrow I will have, look, I ain't even played my other slide, but that's okay. We did it, sissy. We did it. But tomorrow I will have the Dr. B and Kelly Davis. We're talking about many are called, but only a few are chosen. That is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m., guys. If you could meet us back here for the prayer broadcast, that's a whole listen. Every round go higher there as well. And God is definitely doing a thing there. And they're actually a part of our celebration for Mother's Day. We want to see you guys come out in the building, not just for the live show, but the giveaways, just the fellowship, come out and party with us. Mothers are motivated sons. We want to see you guys in the building, and they are a part of the panel. Dr. B is a surgeon, and Kelly, she is a pro ex cheerleader. So if you have a cheerleader, get them in the building too. This event is not just for women, guys. It's not just, it's for everyone. It's definitely for everyone. Let's see what Miss Betty said. She says, enjoy listening to you all. Thank you so much, Miss Betty. Thank you, thank you. But this event, Mothers of Motivated Sons, is not just tailgate and tea time is just not for the ladies. It's for the gentlemen as well. We want to see you guys in the building. So, Sissy, is there anything I gotta go eat? I'm hungry. So, is there anything that you would like to leave with our audience on today?
I'll just say, know your worth.
Yeah.
Know your worth. Protect your peace.
Yes.
And if you're facing any challenges, just find your safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Find your safe space. And moms, dads, family, village, be supportive
Yep.
because it takes a village.
Ooh, now
So
that is the truth.
be
Who said it
supportive.
last week? I think Tawana said it. She said it definitely takes a village. It definitely takes a village. So those were some great words of encouragement. Sissy, we will see you guys back on next Monday. And again, mine is always the same. I love this thing when Alan says, never let anyone write your story and keep the main thing, people. God bless each and every one of you. Come on, sister, let's send these people out with some virtual hugs. Oh my gosh. And some virtual love. See, Denzel ain't on here to battle with me tonight, but I'm gonna get my heart. Oh, look, I got it right.
Yes, you did.
I don't know how he did the heart, I mean the thumb thing, but that's all right. We'll see you guys next Monday. And if you can, come on tomorrow for the prayer broadcast. Many are called, and but only a few are chosen. We definitely want to be the chosen ones in this season. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.